Hi all. Today we will see uh, the remainder of the portions arrays. So we will see two more programs related to the arrays. Two major programs, a major logic that is to be discussed. Okay. The first program to be discussed is to find the largest element present in an array. So far you have seen about traversing through all the elements present in the array, search for an element, we have already seen, find the prime numbers, you have already seen, find even numbers, we have already seen, similar logics you have already seen. Now we are having another situation where we need to find out whether or which element is the largest element present in an array with size n. Okay, so what will be the logic we are going to use with this particular logic? Okay, now assume that we are having an array. Assume that we are having an array with size 3, 0, 1, 2. Assume that the name is A, points to the base address. We are having 3 elements like 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so we will see the execution of this program. Just listen to the main. First we will see the declaration portion. N is the size, A20 is the array, I is the iterative loop variable, and large is an additional variable that is used for assigning a value to the variable large. Some value will be assigned as large into the variable, just like we have seen some variables like flag. We are setting some value, based on the value of flag we are finding something. Some situation we have seen index, we are setting a variable where we are assigning some value, based on the value we are finding something. Similarly, in this finding largest element from the array, we are using a logic with the support of a large variable, which is also an integer variable. Okay, now first of all take the size of array, scan that. So n is equal to 3, n is equal to 3. Now this is the loop as usual, from 0 to n minus 1, that is I less than n. Read each elements, a of 0, then a of 1, then a of 2. Same logic we are following here also. Okay, now let us see the major logic of this particular program. Now let us see the next statement. What is happening after reading this array? We can see we are having one assignment, right? Just look at that. We are having one assignment. That is large is equal to a of 0. So what was large? Large was a variable that is already declared, and we are assigning a value a of 0. We are exactly taking a value from array, which is the first value, that is the 0th index location value will be initially considered as the value of large. L is equal to 5. So a of 0, 5 is assigned to large. This is the logic we are following, because based on this large value we are going to have some comparison with other values. Okay, so now according to our logic, after reading all the elements, first element is considered as the largest value. First we are assuming this is the largest one. This is actually not the largest one, but this is assumed as the largest element. Now we will look at the for loop where we are having the comparison from 0 to n minus 1. from 0 to 2. In this case 0 to 2 we need to traverse from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, now what we are doing, the large element will be having, so 0, for this we are entering into, it is true, we are entering into this loop. If large that is 5 less than a of 5, if large less than a of 5, if 5 less than a of 5, that is 5, what will happen? 5 less than 5, that is wrong, right? 5 less than 5, that is wrong. It will not execute this statement, it will go with the next iteration. Still, what is the value of large? The value of large is 5. I is equal to 1. I is equal to 1. I less than n, 1 less than 3. It will enter into this loop. If large, that is if 5 less than a of 1, that is 6. If 5 less than 6, it is true, right? It will enter into this body of if. Now we will set a new value for large. Large is equal to a of 5. A of 5, that is 6. Now the value of large is 6. Again it will continue with the next iteration. I is equal to 2. I is equal to 2 for this one, right? If large, now what is the value of large? 6. If 6 less than a of 5, that is a of 2, that is 7. 6 less than 7, that is again true, right? It will enter into the body. Now we are assigning large is equal to a of 5, that is the right hand side, that is 7. Again next iteration, I is equal to 3. 3 less than 3, that is wrong. It will come out of the loop. Now we are simply printing the value of large variable. So finally, what is the value of large variable? That is 7. Okay, so this is the logic we are. So in between, if you are getting some large value, what will happen? It will go on comparing. It will compare with next one. Large will be compared with next one. Only when it is less than, we will replace the value of large. Otherwise, the large will remain the same. If you are having some 10 more elements available here, this is the largest one. Every comparison will be a failure. 7 less than, if all others are less. But if any one is larger, that situation, that large will be assigned to the large variable. So after traversing through the entire array, what is the last value of the variable large? That value is the largest value present in this particular array. One common logic. Many situations we need to find out the largest element present in an array. It's a very common logic, and it is easier one also. Okay, so again what we are doing, we are traversing through one by one. Then each element will be having a comparison with an initial large value that we are assigning. Then it will be compared with the each index location value. Accordingly, if you are getting some larger value, the large variable value will be modified to that one. Again repeat the same thing, having comparison with other elements one by one. If any comparison becomes true, that value will be, the greater value will be assigned as the value of large. Okay, so final large value, that large variable will be the largest value present in the array. I think it is clear, right? Okay. Now let us see one more logic, one more example. The program, one of the major array logic, that is a sort program. it is a program used to sort the elements present in an array. So what do you mean by sorting? Sorting means if you are having a set of elements present in an array, for example 0, 1, 2, A is the array base address, then assume that we are having 7, 6, 5. This is the array element. I want to sort the element in ascending order, that is the result must be 5, 6 and 7. This is the expected result. Okay, so sorting means making the elements into an order. It is not only in one order, this is ascending. We can have descending also. If you are having some more elements present here, we can have starting from the highest to the lowest one, that is called as descending order, and from smaller to the highest one, that is called as ascending order. Now here we are going to do the logic, work out the logic in ascending order. Now we need to have a very small variation, very small variation when it comes for the reverse, that is the descending order. You will see that after finding this ascending order sorting. Let us see the program logic. This sorting algorithm that we are going to use now is bubble sort. Similarly, we are having several other sorting algorithms are available, like quicksort algorithm. Similarly, we are having other selection sort algorithm, and many more sorting algorithms are available. Now bubble sort is the most commonly used one that we will see now. Now we need to understand the concept very clearly. Now before going into the program, I'll just tell what is happening with bubble sort. What is happening is, with each elements present in array, we'll be having some comparison between the 0th and first element. Neighbor elements will be compared from one end, from 0th. Now they are having a comparison, right? We are trying for ascending order. If this element is less, first element is greater. Okay, if first element is greater than the second element, these two will be swapped. 6 will be moving this side and 7 will be moving this side. Okay, then from 1 to 2, next to 2 location, again it will compare this first location value is greater than the second. If it is so, what we can do, we will have a swap. 5 will be moving here, and whatever value is here, this will be moving this side. So what is the result we are getting after having this first set of sorting? This is the first step. What we are getting, see, after this 7 and 6, 6 and 7 will be like this. Then 7 and 5 will be compared. Then what will happen? What will happen? Then 5 and 7 will be arriving. So this is the result after doing this, because we are having only 3 elements, we need to go for only 2 comparison. These 2, then these 2. That's all. Then we are getting the result like 6, 5, 7. That is first iteration through 0. First iteration 0. So 6, 5, 7. This is not the final sorted format, right? But of course the last element is the sorted element. So last element will be exactly correct. This is already being sorted. So if you are having some 10 elements like this available, do all these operations, first and second one, then second and third one, then third and fourth one. Similarly, doing all these exchanges, swapping, the final value, so the biggest value will be shifted into the right hand side. Here we are forming a bubble we are putting a bubble. That is why this sorting algorithm is called as bubble sort. First iteration, we are getting one element being sorted. The largest element will be available at the right hand side. Now next step, again we need to go for the same algorithm applied for the remaining. Avoid this portion, this is only being sorted. The remaining portions we need to follow the same set of operation. Next iteration. Okay, so we will go for the next one. This is for iteration from 0 then 1. Again what we will do, the first element will be compared with second element. If first is greater, we will have an exchange. What will happen? 5, 6. Okay, now no more elements to be compared, so here we are getting the last element 6, that is already being sorted, the largest one from the remaining. Then we are having the 5. We don't need to go for further iteration. So 0, 1, we don't need to go for this. Okay, so that you will see that will be reflected in the usage of loop. We need to use 2 loops. Then there you can see we don't need to go for till the end of the indexes. We don't need to go for till the last index. Okay, so this is the procedure that happens with bubble sort. We need to have compare the first element with second. If first is greater than second, do swap. Then second element will be compared with the third. If this is greater, do swap. Then this will be compared with the next one. If it is greater, do swap. The same procedure will be, so one greater element will be shifted into the right hand side, that will be bubbled. Okay, now next iteration we need to do the same procedure till the second last element. We don't need to go till the last element. Till the second last element we need to repeat the same step again. First and second, do swap according to the condition. Then we will be getting the second last element as the highest one. When compared to the previous one, this will be the second last one. Similarly, repeat the same step until we reach this order. So 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is the sorted element. Okay, now we can see the program logic. Let us look at the program. We are having the size n. A of 20 is the array, I is the outer loop, j is the variable used for inner loop. Then we are having a temporary variable temp that is used with swapping. You might be knowing what is swapping, interchanging 2 values. Okay, so here we require that these 2 values to be interchanged from a of 0 to a of 1, from a of 1 to a of 0. We need to have some interchange. So there we are actually requiring a temporary variable for doing that exchange. Okay, so enter the size of array, then scan that. That means read the size n is equal to 3 here, n is equal to 3 here. Okay, now read a number of elements 0 to n minus 1. 3 elements will be scanned and that is given into the array. Okay, now before sorting, so I am simply printing before sorting what is the array, just like the first program where we are printing the array elements. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, we are simply printing the value of a of I. It will print 7, 6 and 5. In this particular case it will print 7, 6 and 5. Okay, now let us look at the exact logic of bubble sorting. So how we can implement these concepts in the form of a C program. So reading an array, printing an array before sorting. So the same thing will be applied after applying the sorting algorithm. That logic again will try to print the array, will print the array in 5 6 7 order. Okay, now we will see the other logic in the sense the area, the place where we are actually going to do the bubble sorting. Okay, we'll continue with the program. So all the printing is over. Now we need to look at the loops that are used for doing bubble sorting. So let us continue. Just look at the major portion. So after this is the portion. This is the portion where we are using the bubble sort algorithm. This is the portion where we are using bubble sort algorithm. Okay. Now this is the outer loop for I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1. Listen. For I equal to 0, I less than n. So far we were using less than n. If 3 is the size, up to 2 we are doing. Okay. But now for I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1. N is 3. N minus 1 is 2. Even less than that, that means 0, 1. Look, while explaining this logic, I have stopped here. I didn't go for this 2. That is not at all required. Whatever be the size, if it is, the size is 10, 10 minus 1, that is 9. Less than that means up to 8 only we need to go for the outer iteration. See, here itself we have seen 0, we have done all these, 1, we have done all these, the same thing. But next iteration we don't require. Before that, this is already being sorted. Okay, so it is not less than n, it is less than n minus 1. N is 3, n minus 1 is 2, less than n minus 1 means up to 1 only. 0 and 1 only. Hope it is clear. Okay. Now I equal to 0. First one, I equal to 0. We will enter into the loop. That is true. I less than n minus 1. It is less than n minus 1. That is, it is less than 2. Correct? It will enter into the next loop. This is the inner loop. For now, this is the loop used for comparison. First iteration, first 0, first iteration, 0th iteration, we need to go for all these comparison and swapping. Next iteration, we need to go for this comparison and swapping. Okay, so that is the procedure. So next iteration, we are starting from j equal to 0, j less than, listen here, j less than n minus I minus 1. Similar to this one, there is a small difference. J equal to 0, j less than n, n is 3, 3 minus I, again 3, minus 1, that is 2, j less than 2, again j less than 2 means up to 1, 0 and 1, 2 times only we are doing comparison. See, here we are doing 7 and 6 we compare. Okay, so we will enter into that. Then next iteration we will have these two comparison. Okay, so n minus I minus 1, 3 minus 0, 3 minus 1, 2. So j less than 2 means up to 1 only, 0 and 1. Only 2 times we are doing this comparison. If the size is bigger, accordingly that will be varying. Accordingly that will be varying. So sometimes it will be swapping 3 times, 4 times. Okay, so it will be n minus I minus 1. Here it is only 3 elements, that's why we are having 2 comparison and swapping. Comparison is always there, but swapping is not always required. But 2 times we need to have comparison, and some situation will be having swapping also. Hope this is also clear. So the outer loop is for 0, for 0 we need to enter, do all these 2 round of swapping. Then for 1 again we will see when it is 1 what will happen. So if it is when I is 0, j less than 3 minus 1, I 0 minus 1 2, j less than 2 up to 1 0 and 1 only, 2 times it will do swapping. Next one, when I becomes 1, again j equal to 0, j less than 3 minus I is 1, 3 minus 1 2, 2 minus 1 1, j less than 1, j less than 1 means only once, only for 0. That is why here we are doing the swapping only once. We are doing the swapping only once. So what will be the number of elements? So if you are having more elements available, that will repeat up to n minus I minus 1. Okay, so this is happening with the j loop. Hope it is clear. For I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1 up to 0 1 2 up to 1. So for 0, for each we need to enter into j loop. There we need to have 2 comparison for the 0th iteration outer. We are having 2 comparison and swapping 2 times. But for 1 we will be having the same procedure repeated for only once. Now we will see what is happening inside this. I equal to 0, j equal to 0. We will enter here. I equal to 0, j is also equal to 0, j less than n minus I minus 1, that is j less than 3 minus 0 minus 1, that is 2. So for 0 and 1 it is to be executed. Now what will happen with 0? A of 0 is greater than a of 0 plus 1, that is a of 1. These two will be compared, whether this is greater than this one. Yes, this is true. What will happen? It will do temp is equal to a of j. It will be assigned to a of j. A of j is equal to a of j plus 1. This value will be assigned to a of j. Then a of j plus 1 will be assigned to temp. Just an exchange. 6 will be moved to this location and 7 will be moved to this location. Hope it is clear. Just by comparing these two, if the first element is greater than the second element, they will be swapped. This is the swapping procedure. You have already seen that. Okay. Now next iteration, j become 1. The condition true. Okay, because this is 2. J less than 2. When it becomes 1, j less than 2, that is correct. It will enter a of j. A of j means a of 1. This is, so 7 is moved here, right? 7 is moved here. Now that 7 will be compared with the a of j plus 1. 1 plus 1, that is 2. 7 and 5 will be compared. 7 and 5 will be compared. Okay, if this is true, this will be exchanged. So 7 and 5, automatically 7 is larger, 5 will be moving here and 7 will be moving here. So this iteration is over. Next case, j plus plus j equal to 2 is wrong. It will go for next iteration, I is equal to 1. I is equal to 1. Next iteration, I less than n minus 1. So means 1 less than, what is that, n minus 1? 3 minus 1, that is 2. Yes, 1 less than 2, that is true. It will enter inside this. For j equal to 0, for j equal to 0, now this is the situation, j equal to 0. This will be the content of array. After doing all this operation, this will be the content of array 6, 5, 1, 7. This is the content of array. Now after doing this, for j is equal to 0, okay, j less than n minus 3 minus I is 1. Now 3 minus 1, 2, 2 minus 1, 1. So j less than 1, yes 0, j less than 1, 0 is less than 1, it is true. Next case it will be a failure, sure. So it will enter into this a of j, that is a of 0. Now the value is 0, a of 0 will be compared with a of 0 plus 1, that is 1. If it is true itself, right? It is greater. So this swapping will happen, then the value will be like 5, 6. Okay, so next iteration j is equal to 1, 1 less than 1, that is wrong. It will exit from this loop. I once again it will be incremented, that is I will become 2, 2 less than 2, that is again wrong. It will exit. Okay, I think it is clear. Now just print that array. Now the array will be having the value 5, 6 and 7. This is the simpler array. Whatever be the size of array, the same logic is only required. Accordingly, that much number of times this will be executed. Okay, so if you are having 5 elements available, first situation up to the 4th means the last, except the last index location, the other will be swapped. Means like if it is 2 up to 1st, like if it is 4 up to 3rd, if it is 6 up to 5th, it will have this swapping. Then next iteration will be, inner loop will be only up to n minus I minus 1. It is very clear with this simple example. We are simply exchanging the values one by one. So first iteration for incrementing I 0 1, not up to n minus 1, less than n minus 1. We don't require this, we don't require a third iteration, only up to n minus 1, less than n minus 1. Second iteration we require not only for all the three, n minus I minus 1. Here if it is 2, here it is only one time this swapping is required. So finally, after sorting, for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, we will try to print the value of a of I. We will print the values 5, 6 and 7, which is in the sorted order. This is one of the major array related algorithm, bubble sorting algorithm. It is applied for many real-time applications. Whenever we require some sorting, we require this logic, because this is the simplest logic used for sorting the elements present in an array. So other sorting algorithms are having their own advantages, but still when compared to those algorithms, this is the simplest and easiest one to study as well as to understand, as well as for even for executing the program, for easily doing this sorting. That is the ascending order sorting will be an easier task. Now I will take one more minute where we can modify the same program with descending order. What will be the difference? The only difference will be just change this condition as less than, that's all. The opposite will happen, right? 7 and 6, it is already descending order, so I cannot explain this descending order, because all the case will be a failure. No need to have any swapping, right? So if it is in a different order, just check the first element is less than second element. First element is less than second element means do swapping. Second largest will be moved to the first location, smallest will be moved towards the second location. That's all. All other logics remain the same. All other logic will be the same. So previous case, the last element, first iteration, this bubble was the largest element, but for descending, the largest, this element will be the smallest one. That's all. The bubbled element will be the smallest one. So this is a very important sorting algorithm. Very important question very important related to the usage of arrays, and hope it will be a useful, it will be very helpful for you to follow this logic, and it can be implemented for many other applications also. So that's it for now. Next session we will start two-dimensional arrays. I think these are enough with one-dimensional arrays. A lot of programs were discussed. Next session we will start two-dimensional arrays, where we will discuss some programs related to matrices and all. Okay, thank you.